When you came to Britain, you were very optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
And you and your sister arriving in your thin summer dresses and coming to Britain from Trinidad and expecting the streets to be paved with gold and for Britain to embrace you, did it?
Well, no. That was a sad part of it, because I was so enthusiastic about coming to Britain, leaving those cruel foster parents behind, being in the bosoms of my mum, again, my guardian angel, my father, my brothers and sisters, learning about Britain, because we were told back in Trinidad that we were British. The British Empire, part of the motherland. The streets were going to be paved with gold. People were going to accept us and love us. And it wasn't like that. And I think that was a shock, more than disappointment. It was a shock to the system. And that actually made me very angry. I started fighting for the first 4 years of my life in Britain. I must admit, I fought physically because I couldn't stand the injustice of it all. And you're going through the time when, as a child, when you see your brother covered in blood because boys had just beaten him up just because he was black, calling you names, people spitting at you, you never know where it was going to come from. You never know what was going to happen. It made you really angry, and I had to protect myself because you'd walk down the street and you never knew who was going to get at you. Is it this person? Is it this person ready to fight? No, it's not. Thank goodness.
When you say, did you really expect people to verbally abuse you or physically abuse you just walking down the street?
That was normal behaviour.
What sort of thing did you experience?
Oh, horrible, horrible things. I don't want to talk about, the actual words. Even in my book, Come Into England, I haven't used the words. I've just used the emotion of walking down somewhere and not knowing if this person is going to spit at you, lift your skirt up, ask you where's your tail, try and pee on you, whatever. So you had to be prepared. And I think that's what's gives me the skill of working out what people are all about. I can read people. When they're coming towards me, if I'm in a room with people, I can read them. I just pick up the vibes. There's a link between all of us. We're connected. And I am so sensitive about who's who when I walk into a room. And it's because of those experiences walking down the street. If this person's going to hurt me, I've got to be ready to fight. If there's not, thank goodness, but I'm ready for the next one. Because it's not that, it's just one. Wasn't an isolated case. Until I had my spiritual moment. The day I had my spiritual moment was the most wonderful day of my life.
What happened?
Because I was fighting.
Fists fighting?
Yeah. I was fighting this boy who called me nasty names. And I was hurting him. And suddenly, I heard a voice, and it said, Floella, what are you doing? Because of this boy's stupidity, his ignorance, his prejudices, you're going to get yourself into trouble. Stop it now. You can't change the colour of your skin. And if he has a problem with the colour of your skin, then it's his problem, not yours. Start loving yourself the way your mum loves you, your dad loves you. I want you to start loving yourself the same way and respecting yourself, Floella. Show the world who you are. And I remember thinking, oh yeah. And I smiled. And I realized that this was not going to be the answer. My brain was going to be the answer. And my smile was going to be my weapon in life. And that's why I learned to smile. And no matter what you say and do to me, I just smile. I just smile. Because I know who I am. I know that I'm worthy. I know that I can beat anyone with my brain, with my mind, with my soul, with my passion, with my energy. And that's what I try and teach children.
You're a fighter, aren't you? You are a real fighter. And I guess that goes right back to when you were a child in Trinidad and you were facing abusive language from your foster parents. That sense of, no, actually, I'm better than, I'm not going to take this.
Well, as I said, it's because I knew I was loved. We have got to show children love. Not necessarily our own children, but all children. That's what I've tried to do in my career. Everywhere I go, if I go to a school, if I go to prison, I do a lot of prison visits, the first thing I say is that I'm here today because I love you. And I want you to love yourself the way I love you. Because if you love yourself, then you can love others easily. You don't need anything, unconditionally. Just love yourself. And when you love yourself, no matter what people say and do to you, apart from those 4 years in England when I felt the injustice, because I believe in freedom and liberty, fairness, equality. And when I don't see that happening, I get really angry about people doing so and try and make a difference. And because at that age, at young age, I didn't quite understand how to do it. I didn't realize it was doing it through energy, a force, a look, a smile. We're going to get there, don't you worry. And make people feel as if they take ownership on making a difference and changing themselves too. Because that's our job as human beings. We're supposed to help one another. If you see someone suffering, if you see someone emotionally kind of confused, we're supposed to say, tell me about it. Talk about it. Let's smile. Let's talk to each other. Let's show each other that love and affection that can change the world, and to press the reset button to do things differently. And that's my job.
What advice would you give women of today, based on your experience?
I would say to women, follow my 3 C's. The first C is C for consideration. To have respect and empathy, not just for yourself, but for other people. And put yourself in the place of others. Throw your mind beyond the horizon. Look around and then come back. Don't just rush into things, because everything you do will have a consequence. There are consequences to pay, good or bad. So you've got to choose well. The second is C for contentment. To have a happy, contented heart. Not to be jealous and envious of what other people have got, but to be satisfied, to learn what satisfaction is. Because in today's world, it's materialistic world, it's very, very difficult to be satisfied. And the more contented you are, the more open and ready you are to receive what's right for you. Because what somebody else has got might not be the right for you. So you've got to know what's right for you. To take that breath every day and go, I know where I'm going. And the third C is C for confidence. To look in the mirror every day of your life and like the person that's looking back at you. Knowing you've done the right thing. The confidence to be a decent human being. The confidence to know enough is enough. The confidence to be able to give and to love unconditionally, not wanting anything back for it. It's not a bargaining thing, I give you this and you give me back that, no. But most of all, you have to have the courage to do all that. That's hard. That's hard in today's world. We've all got to be together.
And sometimes women are not nice to one another. There is this, Germaine Greer called it horizontal hostility.
I think because, you see, because we're afraid that if you let somebody else come in, you're going to lose out. I do things because I want other people to progress, to be successful. I feel so happy when somebody has got a new job. I write a letter and say, well done. I've often said to you, well done, Charles, I'm so proud of you. Yeah. Other women have done it to me. I had a wonderful woman called Cynthia Felgate, who helped me with Play School, but also a woman called Tony Lothian. She was the founder of Women of the Year Lunch, and she did that all the time.
And can we change things?
Oh, definitely. You can't, it won't change overnight. Don't expect change overnight. Any change that's going to be sustainable doesn't happen overnight. It takes a long time. As I stand in Parliament, I smile. Every day when I go into the chamber, I smile. And I think, 500 years ago, the people who stood on this same land, they were deciding what was going to happen to my ancestors. They were slave owners, plantation owners, and now here I am in Parliament, looking down at the valley of experiences and thinking, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Well, you never know. As I said, something's coming, something good. Don't know what, don't know why. Maybe today. And that's what keeps going you. And women often turn into being very aggressive and very masculine in their behavior. No, be charming, be loving, be nurturing, because that's our job.
Floella, thank you.